jokes aside, I typically use this channel for hosting our online game, UNDERLIGHT.com. For those interested in role-playing, legitimate role-playing games, UNDERLIGHT.com, City of Dreams, is a free-to-play online MMORPG. It's where you can develop your ability to role-play and make believe and be anything and almost do anything you want, and it requires interaction with other people, other players. You don't just advance by hunting a bunch of computer-generated missions and maps and quests and level up, and you can't pay to win, you can't buy yourself into winning. It does require actual role-playing. But today is not about role-playing. Many people think that that's what YouTube is. They're playing a character. I'm just playing a character. It's just who I am. It's just what I'm not like this in real life. I'm just playing a character. I'm playing a narcissist, or I'm playing an e-beggar, or I'm playing a child porn spreader, or I'm, pretending like I fly to other countries because the laws are laxed there. There's people on this platform that say these things. There's people on this platform that are direct, immediate threats to children and families. And how are they? How are they direct, immediate threats? Well, they have virtually no morality. They have no lines that they will not cross. They have no deeds they will not do. There are no blurred shades for them. It's whatever it takes for them to sufficiently squeeze every ounce of your ability to tolerate social media. And you would think that there would be protections in place for these kind of things, and there are. Granted, they're very, very long, processed steps that the victims have to take in order to see some semblance of justice. Now, getting somebody off YouTube is all well and good, but it doesn't really work in the way that the victims would like to see it. I'd like to see this, but they don't ever go away. They never go away. They find other ways to put their disgusting, evil, black-hearted presence out there. Examples of this are Molly Golightly, Bombshell Reloaded, Dave the Fisherman, Quarry, Holly, Bullhorn, Dusty old salt maker over there, Dolly, JLR. They're all people with criminal records. They all have criminal records. They're all disgusting human beings that absolutely do not give two shits about children. None of them do. None of them care about children. And as victims and as advocates of victims, we're here trying to take this moral high ground and show that we are united in a front. And that works for some, and it works in some fashion, but it doesn't really take care of the problem, does it? Most of your states, they're not equipped for cybercrimes. Most states are not equipped for cybercrimes. They're not able to investigate, prosecute, and hold accountable the people that commit these crimes. And it's not just a question of funding, but it's a question of training. Where do you train? How do you train to create a cybercrimes unit and then maintain the cybercrimes unit so that victims and advocates of victims can hold these people accountable? Well, it starts with your elected officials. It starts with the people that you're putting in your local offices, your local district attorneys, your local assistant district attorneys. It starts with getting on board with your police chiefs and your police navigators, if you have navigators, and with your police detectives and investigators. It takes people going those extra steps, because we can sit here and do response videos all day long. And all it does is lead to another response video and another response video and another response video. We can spit facts all day long. We can explain to you, detail for you, and show you video of the person committing those crimes, and they will still have people sending them money, giving them information, and helping to make the victims less safe by providing information as to their location, where they work, what their children are, where their children are, what school their children go to. And what have we accomplished? With just another live stream, right? We just make another live stream where we talk about the crimes that the person's committed. And then within hours, because they're narcissists and unable to contain themselves, that person that you're talking about will fire up a stream and start releasing information. These are people who have collected photos of your children. These are people who have purveyed your social media accounts. All of them. All of them. And they will use bits and pieces of truth in order to subjugate their subs, their followers, to make themselves look like the victim that they're not. And naive, lonely, damaged, emotionally distraught people will believe those people, and they will do unbelievable, heinous things to the real victim in order to appease the person that they think is innocent. Facts and fiction are the two most prevalent things on social media. Facts and fiction. Who tells the better story and who provides the most facts? Those are the sides. It's not good and evil, right and wrong, old and young, more popular or less popular. It's fact versus fiction. It is a fiction for you to believe that Bombshell Reloaded is a nice person who does nice things for the community. That is a fiction. It is a fact that her and people like her participate in underhanded backroom things that cause great harm to women, children, and families on this platform. Fact shown in video, unedited. Fact. Fact that she collects pictures of women in the nude and children to use as leverage to circumvent facts by intimidating people into silence. And when that does not work, then they just do a bunch of streams about bullshit fiction that is not reality based. It is lies and deception. It is not real. The real facts of what's happened, to collect myself here, the real facts of what's happened is that for over 5 years that I'm aware of, and it goes back further than that, this person has begged, pleaded, and borrowed money from more than 5 people and never paid it back. It is a fact that this person is almost 60 years old and unable to take care of themselves. And I don't mean take care of themselves in the sense of wake up, bathe, eat, feed yourself, and clean your home, which, by the way, they don't do. They don't clean their home. I'm talking in the fact of being able to adequately suffice their lifestyle through their own means. They provide absolutely no entertainment. They provide absolutely no content. They create nothing except pain and discomfort for other people. That's what they do. That is the limits of their capabilities. And they're quite good at it. They're quite good at making people feel emotional and psychological pain and immediate, imminent threat. Because it is easy for somebody like that to reveal locations of people, to take pictures of your children, to collect nudes and store them for more than a year. That is predator behavior. And the words get thrown around left and right because that person throws that word out along with pedophile on people that have never exhibited any of those things on this platform. They have advocated, and advocates scare people like that. Advocates scare Bombshell. Facts scare Bombshell. Facts scare Dolly. Facts scare Tammy. Facts scare Bullhorn. Facts scare Corey, Holly, JLR, Molly Golightly, Bullhorn Eddie. Because you can't combat a fact. You can only confuse a fact. And they're quite adept at confusing storylines to fit the narratives that they are spoon-feeding at this point. We're a bunch of dumb, stupid people. Because that's the only explanation I can come up with at this point. You have to be a stupid, naive, lonely, damaged person to sit there and listen to them people do the things that they do. And then, when it comes to light, by equally disgusting people who turn against them, then you see two black-hearted, demonic, evil, soulless creatures throwing each other under the bus, trying to scapegoat each other so that they can salvage what little remains of humanity, and I use that very loosely, that they have left. And we're just supposed to sit here and be like, well, no. See, the good people fight with rules, and that's the problem. Good people fighting evil with rules. That's the problem. The rules are the problem. The rules that we're supposed to protect us, right? Supposed to keep us safe. The report features, the report functions, the direct chat communication with our YouTube managers and our Twitter accounts and our emails and our Facebooks and our social media platforms. They're supposed to be tools in place to protect the users, right? But there's YouTube, social media itself is no different than the sports world. In the end, they care about nothing but what lines their pocket at the end of the day. And if you're a person who doesn't care about lining your pocket, there is no protections for you. Nobody in the decision-making world is going to come and protect you. The rules won't protect you Because that's not what the rules are for. See, we think the rules are in place to protect us, but they're really not. The rules are in place so that when shit hits the fan and something dangerous and life-altering and perhaps even unaliving happens, these social media giants, these billionaires, can sit back and be like, well, we have rules in place, and they violated the rules, so we're clear. We don't have nothing. We're not culpable because we have these rules, and they broke the rules. We just didn't get around to doing anything about it because not enough people reported it, right? Because there's different types of reports, right? There's community, and then there's personal, and then there's privacy, there's copyright, right? There's all different ways of reporting things. But if the community as a whole doesn't report, then they don't get any community violations. And if you don't bend over backwards, cut off a finger, and send in a DNA sample, a privacy complaint usually falls on deaf ears. So it comes down to copyright, which is primarily what most people get a strike for. It's copyright, right? Pretty much it's a copyright. Because privacy is, since 9/11, privacy has been, non-existent pretty much. You are not private. Certain things still remain private, medical records, things like that. But even those have loopholes around them, right? So what are we supposed to do? Do we go below the level that the evil is in order to circumvent the evil? And then we become what? Then we become a Jeremy's mom, right? We become the thing that we think that we're fighting, but now we're worse than the thing that we're fighting, but somehow are able to confuse people enough to make people think that you're an innocent person when you're not. Or you got people like Texas Girl and Vilomah and Susan Georgia Peach trying to hold people accountable with facts and receipts, but that's not enough, right? People don't believe it. When I say people, I think you guys know who I'm referring to, or what I'm referring to. I'm referring to blind, dumb, lonely, emotionally damaged people who I think just want to belong somewhere, regardless of what it costs them. People like KK throwing out God. If you want to see your child in heaven, I'm good with the Lord, but you're not because you're a bitch. That's not how God works. I don't know. I don't know that God that she's talking about. I don't know that God. Because I'll tell you one thing, the very God that I believe in is the very reason that I am not the Angelo I was 10 years ago. Because let me assure you, I'm telling you right now, I've got the skills and I've got the knowledge. I know what to do to fuck with people's lives. Literally. And every fiber of my being is telling me I need to do that to get even with these people. And then there's that one small voice, the one that matters the most, which is God, and the second voice that matters the most, which is my spouse. And then I have to think about this. Most of these people don't have spouses. They have absolutely no one. Because nothing in this world can make me believe that there's an opposite sex of a person that could tolerate that kind of lifestyle. To wake up in the morning thinking about trying to get nudes of people, thinking about trying to get information on people's children, thinking about doxing school-aged children, minors, for the sake of winning an argument, which you lost due to the facts the way they are. So you win nothing except putting people in danger because your feelings got hurt when somebody proved with your own words, your own face, and your own video that you're a liar and a scammer and a user and a narcissist. When you go on TikTok at almost 60 years old as a single woman with no family and give 12-year-olds advice on how to get laid, that makes you a predator. When you collect nudes of women and store them for years, even to this day, you probably still have them, you're a predator. That's not fiction, that's fact, proven from your own streams where you've made those threats of using that in order to get back at somebody. When you make videos inviting people to come to your work and then file charges on the people and lose and then pretend like you won, you're an idiot. The facts prove that you invited people to your place. And I'm all over the place with different people here, so bear with me. But I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about. You lost the case the minute you went on social media making threats. And that's the problem with dragging people to court. You can drag people to court all day long and you will lose every single step of the way if you're participating and continuing to participate in the fuckery that goes on social media. Even if you're the victim. Let me make this clear. If you're the victim and you're taking people to court and then you're participating in more fuckery, you're going to lose your case. You're going to lose. You're not going to get any kind of victory out of it. So what do? Do we stop responding to people? Well, the only way that works is if you go legal. If you go legal, you have to stop responding. You have to stop playing. You have to stop playing. But most of these predators anticipate that people won't take them to court. That's what they rule on. They bank on it. They bank on it. They will poke you enough that you'll respond. And in some cases, in many cases, to be honest. Most of these people that respond feel bad afterwards because they're not those people. They feel bad. They say something that's so uncharacteristic that they get sick and they feel bad. Doesn't matter if the person deserved whatever it is you said. You will feel bad because you have something they don't have. And it's called empathy. It's called a soul. It's called caring. You can hate them all day long, but at the end of the day, you're the type of people that do not want to see harm come to them. You just want them to stop. So how do we do that without compromising who we are as individuals? That's what it comes down to. And it's so hard. I am failing at not responding because these people hit at the very core of everything I stand for. They think kids need to be raped more. They think it's okay to go to other countries and have sexual relations with underage children. They think it's okay to send, receive, or accuse people of sending and receiving child porn with absolutely no evidence. They think it's okay to call people predators and pedophiles with no evidence because they're called a pedophile or a predator with evidence. With evidence. Hey, they're using my videos against me and it's not fair. Then stop making the videos. It's not rocket science. If you want people to not call you a predator, don't do predatory things. Collecting nudes, talking about molesting children, confessing to molesting children, Cecil, and then playing like you didn't do that, and then coming up with excuses of why you did that, and then lying about it, and then asking people to believe you because the videos are edited, like we're some kind of a movie production company where we spend our hours and days making $1 million manifestos of confessions and videos of people doing heinous things. No, because I don't edit shit. I'll just look at it and be like, okay. Receipts, you go. We're in a world today where when people ask for receipts, you show them receipts, the next thing out of their mouth is fake. So why are you asking for shit? You know, that's why I've never once showed a receipt for anything that I've ever claimed of anybody. And I never will. I never will. And I don't have to, because at no time have I ever said something about somebody that wasn't true. You want receipts? Go to Walmart. Because I'm not providing you with receipts. When I tell you that Bombshell is a liar, scamming, scheming, conniving, backdoor, backroom dealing piece of shit with 2 repos and 3 evictions and a severe drug issue that you are perpetrating by giving her money for when she needs rehab and the Lord, I'm telling you the truth. Now, you can choose to believe that or choose not to believe that, but I don't care. I know what she is, and anybody that's over there at this point, at this time, with everything that's been shown about her, at this point and at this time, if you're over there, you are perpetrating her addiction and you are part of her problem. You're not my problem because it's not my drug addiction. You're not my problem because I don't ask people for money, promising to pay them back, and then spend it on stupid shit. At no time has anybody on this platform ever had to support my lifestyle or the things I want. I've gone there and I've earned it myself. And Nicolina, in case you're listening, because I know you're friends with traders, when I was on Ernie Shell's panel, I actually do work for the federal government. So it's not bullshit. If you paid attention to any of my doxes, you'd figure that out. I work for the federal government. I have an ability to look at people and what they're doing and read what they're doing and interpret what they're doing based on their actions and based on their past actions. It's not intuition. For women, it could be considered intuition. For me, it's predictability based on a pattern of behaviors. It's a logical assumption of direction based on the things that they say and do. So when people are in Flava's chat saying, this is what they wanted this, this is what they wanted, they got what they wanted. No, we never wanted, we predicted, we said point blank that your relationship with Bombshell and vice versa would not last because based on your patterns of behavior, and that's for both of you idiot ass clowns, you would fuck each other over because you have an inability to understand what a real friend is. You have an inability to take care of yourselves. You need babysitters, supporters to support the things that you want and do. And before you ask, why is a man in bitches drama? Why is a man in bitches drama purple, KKK, or anybody else that wants to know why a man's in bitches drama? It's because sometimes, and it's no offense to anybody, but sometimes it takes a logical, reasoned approach to look at shit and be like, what the fuck are we doing? Because, quite honestly, women lead from an emotional standpoint. And I get that. There's nothing wrong with that. But when you're trying to prove something or one-up somebody on something, sometimes that emotion gets involved and you find yourself doing and saying things that you ordinarily wouldn't. Some of us men find ourselves in that position too. And that, it is what it is. But if you sit down and you actually looked at this big picture and you looked at this social media platform the way it is, I think you begin to seeing that there's the patterns that we're doing, the things that we're saying, the things that we're partaking in aren't working. So why are we still doing it? We have to find another way. So what would that other way be? Well, Vilomah has something that she's doing that's pretty important, which is the baby boxes. My suggestion would be buy a baby box, okay, a safe haven box, in the name of your enemy, and put that bitch up, and let all the world know that while that thing, that evil motherfucker, may not represent anything good on social media, one day it may be what saves a baby. So buy a safe haven box, or support a safe haven box, or pull your money together and put a safe haven box, and put it right in their goddamn neighborhood. Put it somewhere where they know it will be seen. Because really, the only way we're going to win is by making changes in ourselves and in changes in our community. And the best way to do that is to show the enemy so much kindness that they look like fucking morons at the end of the day. Oh, that bitch bought me a safe haven box. What the fuck? And then people are going to be like, that saves babies' lives. What are you talking about? That's more important right now. Yep. Susan Georgia Peach pays tribute to fallen heroes, both 2- and 4-legged. Promote one of her videos, or make your own for your local heroes. Promote them. Voight is a veteran who pays homage to other veterans. Find a veteran to give tribute to in honor of your enemy, because that's going to go so much further than anything you could do back to that person. Because clearly responding to them and showing the facts, that's not working anymore. So we have to make changes with ourselves. We have to make changes in our community around us. And we have to advocate for political leaders who will step up and make effective, real changes to social media and to the agencies that are supposed to be protecting us. And I needed to get this off my chest, because I tell you, I saw some stuff going down yesterday from these people who have left a wake of victims behind, acting as though they've done nothing to no one, and saying as much. I've done nothing to any of these people, when the facts are there to show that they're lying. The people are still sending them money. People are still supporting them. People are still promoting them, no matter what facts have been put out by them, because they're fake. They're this, they're that. They're everything but what they want to hear. But everything they do is factual. Everything they put out is factual, which is very, very, very rare that they put out anything. Mostly it's just a bunch of yelling, screaming, snorting, and slamming the ground. 9 busted vertebrae and 3 accidents that weren't their fault, but they can move pretty damn fast when DoorDash comes or when they're walking around Home Depot looking for paint. It seems quite legit. I've seen a lot of crazy-ass injuries in the military. 3 vertebrae basically incapacitated somebody. So 9 or 7, I have no idea how that person functions. How you could sit for 6 hours in the last 24 hours and do live streams. I don't know how you could do that. And, unless you're lying, which that would make more sense, right? It's uncanny how much word salad these folks can use to confuse people. And if I'm sitting here saying to myself, well, I'm not confused by it, and a whole grand handful of people aren't confused by it, then that leads me to believe that the only thing left, if it's not confusion, is its participation. You're a participant in it. And that makes you just as bad. It makes you just as bad. Safe haven boxes, tributes to fallen heroes, honoring veterans, protecting our children, protecting our families. That's what we're supposed to do. And if we can't do it effectively on social media because it would force us to become as evil and disgusting as these people that we're fighting, then we have to do it in the community, the real community. We have to make senators and congressmen and district attorneys and investigators start paying closer attention to social media, because that is the next great frontier, my folks. That is the battleground. This is where kids are being groomed by grown-ass adults. Right, Morbid? People like Earth bringing that shit out, making us aware that there are groomers on this platform that go under the radar because we're so busy fighting somebody who scammed $100 out of somebody, or 3,000 or 4,000, which is just, it's heinous. It's horrible. It's sad that people get scammed money. But money is replaceable. Our children are not. We must hold these people accountable, and we must do what it takes within the law to prevent people from grooming children online. And people like that, like Morbid, who are supported by people like Glara and Dolly and Bullhorn, the so-called true crime advocates of children and missing and exploited, who've solved no crimes, who've recovered nobody, who have done nothing to uncover any kind of semblance of evidence for the highly trained individuals that are charged with finding them. These people need to be outcasted, blocked, and forgotten. That's it. I have met an interesting, amazing group of women and men on this platform that strive to do these things. And I see them struggle with the dilemma of how do I stop this person? What do I have to do to stop this person? And it's a hard question for some of us. You clip them. You keep the facts loaded somewhere. You remind people, you show them. But at the end of the day, it doesn't take them down, does it? We're still sitting here scratching our heads going, how does this person still have a platform? Well, they have a platform because the law doesn't do enough to protect us. That's why. But the minute you step out of bounds and try to do something to rectify that is the minute you jeopardize the integrity of who you are as a person. And I don't think it's worth it. I don't think it's worth going outside of your character for a chance of maybe taking somebody down. It's not worth it. It's not worth who you are as a person. It's not worth the friendships that you formed here. And contrary to popular belief, some of these friendships actually mean something to me. Most of them didn't even start out as friends with me, and nor I with them. So they mean something to me. To cultivate it to what it is today, to be the advocates that we are. And we can't lose sight of being that advocate. We can't lose sight of being that voice for the victim. And the most effective voice for a victim is the person that keeps it on the board, legitimate and transparent, without compromising your integrity or the integrity of your story. Because that's what's important. The knowledge of who hurt you, how they hurt you, and what you are doing with your strength and power to make the lives of people around you better. Don't jeopardize it. It's not worth it. They're not worth it. That's their goal. Their goal is to destroy everything that you've become, despite your pain. Despite your pain. They want to destroy that because it helps them. Every step you take advocating defeats them. Advocate. Be better.